It was just past midnight when Mark found himself driving down Highway 63, that long, endless stretch of road that cuts through Arkansas like a knife through soft dirt. And the weird part was, he hadn't meant to take that highway at all. His GPS had rerouted him without warning, glitching out in the middle of a phone call with his girlfriend. And by the time he noticed, he'd already been on it for half an hour. The road was dead silent, no cars in either direction, no towns for miles, just pine trees that leaned in like they were trying to whisper something only the dead could understand. He turned the music up to drown out the silence, but every station was just static. No voices, no songs, just white noise. The weird kind, too, like it wasn't just random. It had a pattern, like breathing. Still, Mark figured he was just tired, so he rolled down the window to let the night air smack him awake. That's when he saw the woman, standing on the shoulder, pale as bone. Long black hair hanging like it was wet, even though the air was bone dry. She didn't even flinch as his headlight swept across her face, eyes wide and mouth open like she'd just seen God or something worse. Mark slammed on the brakes, tires screeching against the asphalt. When he looked in the rearview mirror, she was gone. Just gone. Not even a shadow. He rubbed his eyes, heart pounding like a war drum, and tried to convince himself it was just highway hypnosis, some trick of the night and stress and sleep deprivation. But deep down, he knew better. He'd seen her. Clear as day. Swallowing hard, he put the car in drive and kept going, gripping the steering wheel like it might fly away if he let go. Another mile passed, then 2, then 5. That's when the radio clicked on by itself. No music, no DJ, just a voice, low and scratchy like someone whispering through sandpaper. "You shouldn't be here, Mark." He nearly drove off the road. Hands shaking, he shut the radio off, but the voice kept talking. "She waits at mile marker 213. Don't stop. Don't look." Mark tried to yank the power cable from the radio unit, but it wasn't even plugged in anymore. He stared at the dashboard, cold sweat rolling down his back. He hadn't told anyone he was on this road. Not even his girlfriend knew he'd taken this route. No one should have known his name, but the voice did. And worse, it knew where he was going. Then, just ahead, he saw it. Mile marker 213. The post stood crooked, rusted, and bent like it had been hit more than once. A dense fog suddenly rolled in, thick and yellowish, swirling like smoke from a dying fire. The car's headlights barely cut through it. That's when the temperature dropped. Fast. Breath fogged the windshield from the inside, and the steering wheel turned ice cold beneath his fingers. Then he saw her again. Standing dead center in the road this time. Eyes locked onto his, her mouth still hanging open, black liquid dripping from the corners like oil. His instincts screamed at him to hit the gas, plow through, keep going, but his feet froze. He couldn't move. The car slowed on its own. The engine sputtered, died. The lights went out. He was trapped. He sat in the dark, heart racing, breath quick, watching as the woman slowly approached the car. One step, then another. Her eyes never blinked. He tried to lock the doors, but the buttons wouldn't work. Tried the horn, dead. Then he did the one thing the voice told him not to do. He looked right into her eyes, and for a moment, just a second, he wasn't in the car anymore. He was in the woods, cold, alone, surrounded by trees covered in claw marks. The sky was red, the air thick with the smell of iron. And in the distance, he heard it, the sound of sobbing. Then laughter. Then nothing. A blink later, he was back in the car, but the woman was gone. Vanished again. The engine roared back to life like it had never died. Without thinking, he slammed his foot on the gas and tore down the road, not caring about speed limits or turns. All he wanted was to get off that damn highway. 30 minutes later, he saw the exit sign for a rest stop. He swerved off the main road, parked, and stumbled out of the car, shaking like a leaf in a tornado. The air was still cold. Too cold. He went into the small convenience store attached to the gas station, eyes darting around for anything human. The clerk looked up and gave him the kind of look people give to someone who's seen something they weren't meant to. Mark tried to speak, but all that came out was a croak. The clerk didn't say a word, just pointed to a dusty old bulletin board near the bathrooms. Mark walked over and stared. There, tacked between missing pet flyers and faded lotto numbers, was a picture. Grainy, black and white, of a young woman with long black hair and dead eyes. Missing since 1974, last seen near mile marker 213 on Highway 63. Mark backed away, heart pounding. He asked the clerk who she was. The guy just shook his head. "She don't want to be found," he muttered. "You're lucky she let you go." Mark never took that highway again. But sometimes, when he's driving late at night and the radio cuts out, he hears her voice whisper from the static, "Next time, don't look."